Hi, everybody. This is Kimiko Sumi, and I know it's early in the morning, but I just wanted to do a video kind of, thinking about my thoughts, discussing my thoughts on, pretty privilege and, aesthetics and stuff. I try not to hype myself up about my beauty and stuff because I've been through a lot physically. I've had a lot of physical like changes and stuff like that to my appearance back and forth. So I have learned to be humble about the way I look and stuff because most people have humbled me greatly in this lifetime. People have humbled me greatly. But I will say this, something that I'm noticing that I really didn't really realize and really kind of, it's taken me a long time to realize that most of the people that have called me names regarding my appearance, these have been people who should never have been talking in the first place. These are people who are physically unappealing to most people. They're usually undesirable. But I noticed something about them. Okay, they they compensate for their lack of beauty or attractiveness by projecting their insecurities onto people who are actually considered to be attractive, conventionally attractive. Like I was actually meant to be conventionally attractive. I probably would have likely, if the circumstances had been right, or in the circumstances would have been right, I probably would have been a commercial print model. I had the potentiality to be a model, okay, from birth. I actually did get to model in a JCPenney ad as a little girl, although I don't remember it. But because my mom, she used to work for JCPenney's financial services growing up as an insurance agent. And basically, me, my brother, and my sister, we were able to get into a JCPenney's catalog growing up. So that's really the only modeling. Plus, my mother was a model too. But that's neither here nor there. Really, I'm just saying that I could have actually been a commercial print work model growing up if the circumstances had been right. But a lot of people who were not attractive were the main ones that would always gaslight me, and they still do to this very day. But I noticed them more. I'm more aware that these are people that have no business in the world talking about nobody's appearance, coincidentally. But I think their advantage, they compensate for their looks by having a mouthpiece in the psychological leverage over me back then. Okay, it doesn't work nearly as much as it used to do back then now. So they're very angry about it because it doesn't work the same way it used to back then, not nearly as much. But these are people who are physically unappealing to most people. But like I said, they compensate for their lack of desirability by their psychological, like the psychological games. They use their psychology or whatever psychology that they have gotten throughout life, formal or informal, to make an actual attractive person like I'm supposed to be naturally, make us seem like that we're the ones that are unattractive, but they're the ones who are attractive and they can talk and they have the right to criticize looks and stuff like that. Like these are people who they have very low self-esteem. They don't look good, but they have the psychological aspect down pat to project onto somebody that is conventionally attractive to make us seem like that we're not attractive. So they can play with our head to make us have a dysmorphia of how we look. Because I do have a distorted perception of myself. I'm going to be honest. I do. I can't really see myself the way that a lot of people might be able to really see me. And this has been an advantage over a lot of people who are not conventionally attractive. And if you notice, they do this to celebrities a lot too. Like if you notice that celebrities are known as people who are basically perfect, flawless, like Beyonce's, the Rihanna's, Tiana Taylor's, Tatiana Ali. I'm just naming random people, but just very attractive people that, you know, because we see celebrities as like perfection. Even if people who are not conventionally attractive, people who are not attractive, they know that those people are very attractive. But if you notice, they'll make troll accounts, they'll make fake accounts and stuff like that without their picture. Or if they do have a picture, it's very like blurred, or it's like photoshopped, or their profile will be locked down or something like that, so that the person that they're attacking, like a celebrity or somebody that's very attractive online, like a content creator, they'll do things so that that person can't have a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that person that's usually behind those accounts trolling celebrities and people who are attractive, those people are not usually they're not attractive. I'm telling you, they're not. Okay? That's why they attack, you know, the Beyoncés and people who are very much perfect and very attractive, way more like way out of this world attractive, ethereal looking. They attack those type of people, and that's why most celebrities are always trying to perfect themselves. They're always trying to perfect themselves, okay? And to the point where they're flawless, but the person behind those accounts, who are usually ugly as fuck, they will sit there and still pick those celebrities apart, knowing the whole time they sitting behind that screen looking like a gremlin or some type of like actual treasure troll underneath the bridge. Okay, like they just literally should never. They should never see go outside and let nobody see them in the daylight. Okay, they should always come out at night. Okay, you know. These are people who, for most of my life, and they still do it to this day. They know they have a psychological advantage. They do. And they usually can recruit other people to help them too. Because usually they're cowards. Like offline, you know, in person, they're very cowardly. They always need a team. They always need a team to come back them up, to pick apart a actual conventionally attractive person like I was meant to be. And then they will actually do things to try to get you to like fold, break you down, and pick apart your appearance. Like with me. Another thing too, I know I'm going all over the place because y'all, I am a paranoid schizophrenic. So please bear with me. But I will say that they also do things like they'll bring food. If you have like a weight problem like me, they'll bring food around you. You know, if they know that you're trying to lose weight, they'll try to bring more food around you. Because I used to live in this transitional house, and I noticed that, okay, I've always been on weight loss journeys throughout my life, but I noticed that this girl, every time it would seem like I was getting close to my goal weight, she would buy Krispy Kreme donuts, she just randomly started buying them. Every time I would get close to the goal weight that I wanted to get to, I noticed that them donuts would appear, and I could not hesitate. I could not really turn them down, the donuts, because for one, I would be hungry, and secondly, I have a huge sweet tooth, okay? So that kind of got me, although I did get to my goal weight. I still did, but it was very much delayed. And I'm not going to blame it on her, because she didn't actually put the food in my mouth. I'm not going to completely blame it on her. And I don't even know if it was really negative intentions, but back then, especially, I didn't really see it as that back then. I just thought, okay, she's just being nice. She's just bringing, you know, donuts for, you know, the housemates. Okay. But now that I look back, that might have been deliberate, because, you know, they can monitor you. Gang stalkers and demons and stuff, they can appear as nice. They can come through different forms and stuff and jump bodies, and they can see they can monitor targeted individuals like me, and they'll know that we are trying to improve ourselves and stuff. So they'll do things to sabotage us, and usually they're very unattractive. And the reason why a lot of people are unattractive, I believe too, a lot of people who are unattractive are usually not very nice. They're evil. They're usually evil. That's probably why they look the way that they do from jump, from birth, because they were not good. They're just not good souls or good spirits, because they really don't have no soul. They're just spirits, I believe. But I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be arrogant or have a big ego or anything like that. I'm not trying to be arrogant, because I've taken a lot of blows to my self-esteem, y'all. I really have. And I've noticed, I really look back, and I've noticed that I've really thought about the people, not all of them, but most of them have not really been that attractive, or they were average at best. Like, you know how like Kevin Samuel said average at best for black women. It's not even just for black women, average at best for anybody, okay? That would come from me. Male, female, young or old, gay or straight, black or white, whatever. They have usually been average at the very best, but most of them have been very unattractive. But I just have started to pick up on this more recently, that these people have been able to manipulate my mind and a lot of people's mind into thinking that they're the attractive one, and that the actual conventionally attractive person, like I was meant to be, is seen as unattractive, or try to get us to view ourselves as unattractive to get the spotlight off of them, which is projection. They know that they are the ones who are not attractive, but they will put a spotlight on an attractive person and make us seem like that we're the ones that have the problem. And this reminds me of that episode of The Twilight Zone that I like to go back to, it's an episode of the old school Twilight Zone called The Beholder. And I remember on that episode of The Twilight Zone, this woman was in like this, she was very beautiful, and she was in like this psych ward or something like that, and the people, okay, y'all, I'm back. I had to clear some storage off of my phone. But anyway, so unattractive people, like, they're very good. A lot of them are very good at gaslighting an attractive person, to make them think that they're the ones who are unattractive, and that they're ugly, or they'll overly like exaggerate how you look, like your flaws and stuff like that, to make themselves seem attractive. And they could be the most fucked up. And usually these people, they will pick at any little thing, anything that a person that's conventionally attractive, any flaw, they'll magnetize it, and they'll make it seem like that person is just the most fucked up person, but the whole time it's them. And they're very good with psychology. They're very good. You would think that these people should be like psychologists, PhDs and shit like that. They should have like honestly, if these ugly ass people would apply themselves to a degree in psychology, they could be very good psychologists and therapists and stuff like that. They would be very good at that, because they know. But a lot of them, I don't know, why they won't pursue those type of fields, but they would be very good at that, because they sure do know how to project and make their flaws. They know how to turn their flaws into somebody else's flaws and make that person, like, they kind of want a destiny swap with somebody that's attractive. It's like I'm going to make humble this person. I'm going to pick at this person's weight. I'm going to pick at their skin. I'm going to pick at their hair, whatever I can do to get the spotlight off of me and put it on them. People have been doing this to me all throughout my life. I mean, really, really mean. They have been really, really picking at the smallest imperfections about me and magnetizing it to make it seem like they're just like, oh, well, she's just so ugly, she's just this, she's just the fattest, she's fat, and oh, she's ugly, da, 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 da. And really, in reality, a lot of them will manipulate you into looking the way that they want you to look indirectly. Like they really are. Anyway, they'll sabotage you. They'll do things. They won't let you have jobs. So baby, you can improve on your appearance more. They'll do things. They'll cheat you out of things. They'll make it difficult for you in different areas so that they can keep you where they want you to be at, the level they want you to be at, because they're very insecure. Usually, very highly unattractive people are usually very insecure. We all know that, but they use their psychology to blur how they look, as if they're putting a filter on themselves offline. It's like them putting a filter on themselves offline by taking a spotlight and placing it on somebody that's actually physically appealing. And they will make up things like, oh, you're autistic, oh, you're this, you're that, to soothe their ego, okay? And that might even be the truth about them, that they're actually autistic or have Asperger's disorder, and that they're ugly. I mean, all of them things, they will turn it into somebody else that ain't got none of that shit. And they will actually steer that person in that direction to make them appear the way that they feel like that person should appear. Like they've been doing things to me for years to sabotage my looks, to make me look a certain way, to give me a self-perception about myself that's inaccurate, that's not true or all the way true, okay? Because I was meant to be very, very attractive naturally, without makeup, anything, okay? I was supposed to be the bomb diggity, okay? I'm not really even trying to hype myself up, but I realize that more now. I'm more comfortable with the realization that I'm actually supposed to be very attractive naturally. It's not just the weave or any of that stuff. It's not just the wigs. I don't even have to convince nobody of that, because I already know that. That's a fact. You can see me. That's why I show a lot of pictures of myself when I was younger, because I am supposed to be very conventionally attractive naturally, with or without adornments, okay? You know, even though I love those, but I'm actually supposed to be very attractive. And this is something that a lot of people have been able to deceive me, play with my mind and manipulate my mind into thinking that, that's not true. You pretty. Not true. Okay. They have been able to make me feel like I'm just like, they have really made me distort my own self in the mirror. A lot of people would hate when I would actually be in the mirror. To this day, they can't stand to see me look at myself in the mirror. I noticed that about them too. And it's always been people who are not attractive that it seems to trigger them when I observe myself, especially if I like what I see when I look in the mirror. If they notice that I am admiring my own reflection in the mirror, that makes them livid. It makes them angry. Like I know why so many people, and they used to, at my most bad looking moments, they would say, look in the mirror. You need to look in the mirror. But when I would actually look good, or they felt like I looked good or better, and I would observe myself in the mirror, they would get very mad and actually tell me, I don't know why you're looking at yourself. You're ugly. I don't know why you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You're not pretty, and da 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 da. When it's not true. I actually am attractive naturally. Okay. And it's actually them who don't look good when they look in the mirror. Okay. The only reason why they can face their reflection in the mirror is because they've distorted my perception and other people's perception of themselves to make their own self feel better. It's all about appealing and appeasing and pleasing their own ego, their selfish ego. Okay. They're ugly and I'm not. All of those things, everything that they have, even my personality, they have made it more magnetized than what it actually is. It's really them. It's really them who do not like themselves, who do not like their reflection. They do not like shit about themselves, and they want everybody who actually feels good about themselves to feel like shit because they don't feel good about themselves, and they never have from day one of their realization that they weren't attractive. When they realize, because if you started out in this world, I'm not trying to come down on nobody, but if you started out in this world not so attractive, that's just how the fuck they supposed to look. Okay? It's not like me where I was actually supposed to be attractive. This is not just, and I'm not trying to convince nobody, because I'm not finna convince no ugly ass person that I'm attractive. Because first of all, they're just gonna gaslight me. Oh, you tripping. You beautiful. This woman actually did that to me a week or two ago, actually. And she was real big, y'all, like 400 pounds. And she was old, and, you know, I mean, she baited me into and that's another thing too. They'll bait you and manipulate you into an argument so they could try to play a victim so that they can pick you apart with other ugly ass people. Okay? Or people who shouldn't be talking. But anyway, y'all, this is kind of me just, you know, kind of like rambling and kind of voicing my, you know, kind of venting about the audacity of people who should never be talking. And I know they don't just do this to me. I see when they do it to celebrities. We all see it. We all know with them people, the people that always attacking celebrities like Beyonce and people like that, we all know deep down inside that them people are not attractive. They're not attractive. That's why they do what they do. That's why they hide their profiles. They do whatever they can to, manipulate their pictures if they post them. They do all this stuff. But they'll come after somebody that is standing firm in who they are and are actually have the right to actually be talking if they want to. But they'll be the ones talking. But they must have a way to disguise themselves, and they recruit other people and this and that. But anyway, I'm just, you know, I'm repeating myself now. But anyway, y'all, that's just my video for right now. And these were just my thoughts. I'm up early. But anyway, so if you like this video, if you can relate, please like my video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment if you like, share my video, and I will see y'all in another video, my Lotus Flowers. And for my upcoming Lotus Flowers, welcome to my channel, and I will see y'all in another one. Peace. I'm out. Bye-bye.